Okay, we are ready to go. Thank you so much for being on this call. I'm excited to be here sharing with you again. And this is part 3 of the training, Building Your Dreams, Not Theirs. Now, in the first 2 weeks, we did a recap of the business. We went over how you build the Enagic business and how we get paid in Enagic. And we went into detail about the Enagic pay plan, our patented 8-point system. But today we're going to skip that part because we're going to recap the entire training that we've done in the first 2 weeks. And then we're going to tie it all together at the end of today by talking about how to get people started right, how to build for events. And then I'm going to share some tools that I use in my business that a lot of other distributors are using around Enagic as well. So I just want to thank you again for being here. And before I get too far into things, I do want to bring Ann on for a few minutes just to share with us, because we've been doing these trainings at the Enagic office every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. And the goal of that is to provide value for all of our distributors so that we can create a large duplicating organization. And what we're doing in there is we're doing a lot of role play where we're able to just be in real life situations and help people overcome objections and overcome whatever it is that they're bumping up against in their business. And so we're trying to give real life situations. And a few weeks ago, in one of these role plays, Ann had a client that she was working with, and Dan and I were able to help coach her on this process. And then a few minutes after, about a half an hour after the training, I get a call from Ann. And it literally made my day. So I just wanted to bring Ann on for a few minutes and just share your experience with not only the training, but what that's doing for your business and any breakthroughs that you've had.
Oh, lots of breakthroughs. So what you had us do was we wrote a list of like people, and you asked me about my top person who could like buy right now, was like ready kind of thing. And that is the father of my child, who's probably my hardest freaking sale, just because it's me wanting him to get this for him and my son. I think it's just because it's me. Like, he is just so against it in a way. And then you told me to compliment him, and so it just totally worked. And I when we were like role playing, like I couldn't figure out exactly what to say when I was on the spot like that. But once I got him on the phone, it just kind of flowed, and I was able to utilize Dan. Because him and Dan have a lot in common. They're both really, well, Dan used to be a car salesman and Mike's like super into cars. Oh, and so how I started it was saying, oh, Dan was telling me how he used to work at Toyota and he could like hook us up with a good deal because we were talking about getting new cars, specifically 4Runners. And so I started the conversation like that, like almost like offering like a favor. And then I was like, oh, and Dan also told me he could show me how to stack my businesses so that I can make more pieces of the pie sooner. And I was like, and I would really appreciate if you came with me to like learn this, because some of the stuff kind of goes over my head, and I know you're like a super good businessman, and I would really appreciate you being there and like learning with me. And he was like totally down for it.
Nice. So what we're doing works, and that's just a great example. And I just want to thank you for sharing. But I also want to thank you for what you do for Enagic and what you do for all of us, because you are exposing the world in a massive way to what we have, and it's helping all of us. So, I mean, we say this all the time. We are all on the same team. We are on Team Oshiro, because one day What was that?
Oh, I said I don't feel bad asking for help from you guys, because I'm like, I feel like I do provide a lot of value, and I feel like I'm actually appreciated where I'm doing with my social media. Like, so many people, and actually, me and Tristan are working on a rap song. Steve, we're working on a song for Vegas.
That's amazing.
Right here.
That's amazing. Well, Ann and Tristan, we appreciate both of you very much and the value that you're providing for all of us. So, and you're absolutely right. What you do provides tremendous value. So thank you so much. And thank you for being committed and so passionate and driven and inspiring so many of us. So thank you again. We were having some connection problems. I wasn't able to hear what you just said. I'm sorry.
We're in the mountains.
Oh, okay. So maybe at the end of the call we can bring you guys back on. I'm going to jump into the training today, but thank you so much for all of your feedback.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Okay, so we're going to get into today's training here. I'm going to attempt to share my screens. I'm not, however, seeing my icon that allows me to share my screen right now, so let me see what I can find. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Thank you for your patience. So we've been going through this for the last couple of weeks now, and we've been covering basically how to get started in your business and how to introduce this to people, how to get them invited to an event, and how to present to them without sounding like a salesperson. We've talked about interviewing. We've talked about the process of making invitations, complimenting prospects, and who we're looking for. So we're going to recap all of that in the beginning, and then we're going to tie it all together at the end. So I'm going to fly through this first part. Please bear with me. Now, if you missed our first two calls, they are available on YouTube. You can find me. Just look up Steve Beaumont, and there's a picture of me. Subscribe to my channel, and you can find all kinds of videos, not only the recordings of these webinars, but all kinds of other tools that you can share with prospects and other people that are interested in this. So please subscribe to my channel and share those videos. Use them. That's all out there, and it's available for you to take advantage of. Now, this program is designed for income opportunity seekers, entrepreneurs, direct sales and networking professionals, business owners, and marketing executives. Okay, so who does this apply to? This applies to all of us. Most of us, I think all of us, fall into at least the first category of income opportunity seekers, okay? But also entrepreneurs, brick and mortar business owners, marketing executives, people that have already been involved in network marketing projects in the past are perfect for this opportunity. We talked about the perfect career, that there's only really 5 types of career: blue collar, white collar, sales, business owner, and investor. None are perfect. They all have perks and they all have drawbacks. There is no perfect career, but we have the best, and we're going to share that with you today. The rise of the corporation over the last 100 years, what did it teach us? Well, it taught us that we became the 97% that's employed by others, rather than prior to the turn of the century, the 20th century, 97% of Americans were self-employed. What happened? The rise of the corporation. They taught us to go to school, to get a job, to work 40 years, and then to retire. Is this our current reality? Absolutely not. Most likely today, you go to school, you get a job, you switch companies every 4 to 5 years, work long beyond retirement, and then retire uncomfortably, if at all. Now, today, there's a few more steps in this process for most people, such as maybe get married, have a few kids, then get maybe divorced, lose half of your assets in the divorce and have to start over, go into tremendous debt, have to recover from debt. There are student loans that's plaguing a lot of people. So there's a lot of other variables and factors in this equation now. Job automation's happening. It's already here. You've seen it. It's not going anywhere. Now, there's just a few reasons it's important to own a business. First of all, being your own boss, freedom of time, leveraged income, tax advantages. You gain so many tax advantages when you purchase your SD 501, an SBA, or UConn. It makes just owning it worthwhile. You get to write off your gas mileage, your meals, your mortgage. You get all the perks of being a business owner when you invest in Enagic and our technology. Being your own boss is amazing. What is it like to wake up in the morning and walk barefoot into your office? It's incredible. Instead of sitting in an hour and a half of traffic each way to work, you get to have the complete freedom of time to be who you want to be. Control your financial ceiling. You can make as much as you want. We have unlimited earning income opportunities with Enagic. Best working environment imaginable. You get to choose who you work with. And then again, building your dreams, not theirs. You get to create a lasting legacy for you and your family. Now, why don't more people own a business? Fear. Fear of failure, fear of resources, fear of experience or education, lack of opportunity, or apparent lack of opportunity. Our way is simply better. Why? Minimal startup investment. Most businesses take an awful lot of capital to get started, to get off the ground. A McDonald's, for example, is going to cost between $1.2 and $2.4 million in several years, and you got to share royalties with the company. It's very expensive. Our way is better advertising for the company. It tells our story better. We have a product that you have to tell its story. You can't sell it on a Walmart or Costco shelf. We have to provide value. And then we do that through sharing our experience and our stories. And then best yet, all the advertising costs go to us. Here's the thing about Enagic, guys, and this is important. Enagic pays no one to endorse our products. There's a gentleman, a relatively famous gentleman recently who was going to purchase one of our devices and chose not to because we were not going to give it to him for free. Okay, we don't give machines away for free. Steven Tyler paid full price for all of his machines. Okay, all of the pro athletes and celebrities that are using our technology paid for it themselves. We are not going out there and saying, oh, Steven Tyler, drink our water and talk about it. We'll give it to you for free and we'll pay you whatever royalties. We don't do that. Okay, all of that advertising money goes to us instead. Instead of paying Ronaldo and all these superstars, they're paying us that very money. So it's a very powerful business model. Okay, here's where our business is at in terms of revenue. We are earning more money in network marketing or relationship-based marketing, human-based marketing, whatever you want to call it. We're earning more money than any other of these industries: the NFL, the music industry, video gaming, movies, and even natural foods. Okay, in 2013, $71 billion was paid out to people just like us. And I used 2013 numbers just to be conservative so that's more believable, but it's true. This looks familiar, right? This is your typical pyramid scheme. This is our pyramid scheme: physical health, financial health, emotional, spiritual health, an absolute perfect balance of the three. That is true health. When you meet Mr. Oshiro, our founder, he looks at you in the eye and asks you, how is your health? He wants to know how your emotional state is. How are your relationships? That is a byproduct of having proper physical health and proper financial health, both of which we have access to with Enagic. It's phenomenal. And here he is, Mr. Oshiro himself, a visionary, a true leader with compassion from a tiny island of Okinawa to the rest of the world. Our company's rock solid. Factory certifications by the ISO, which is the International Standards Organization. The first one here, 13485. Comprehensive management system for the design and manufacture of medical devices. Every medical device in the world used in a hospital or medical facility must have this certification, and not another ionizer on the planet has it. The WQA, NSF, ANSI, phenomenal. And then even our business model is patented. The technology, the name Kangen is patented. If you read on the internet that another device makes Kangen water, but it's cheaper, it's not true. We are the only one. Our business is patented. No sign-up fees, no qualifications, no stocking, no stuff in your garage, no renewals. Your sales accumulate. You can pass your sponsor. You can outrank your sponsor. Accumulative sales, international sponsoring. You can sponsor anyone in the world. If you know someone in China, you can sell them an SD501 today. And you get paid a few weeks. You get paid in the mail just like you do if you sold a machine to your next door neighbor. We have 9 ways to earn income, and it pays every single day. Very powerful business. We have over 40 global offices to date, and that's growing and expanding every single day. We have offices in Dubai now. We're looking to expand more in the United States, and we have a lot of big things happening right here in the United States that we're going to be sharing with you over the next several weeks. Now let's take a look at our sales. This is powerful. In 2008, we were under 5,000 units per month. And you see around 2015, there was a rapid shift upward. And this is about the time I started looking at this company. And we were pushing for 10,000 units worldwide per month. That was our big goal. Now, in just a few short years, last November, we hit over 33,000 units. So look at how much our business has increased in the last few years, and it's not tapering off. In fact, it's sharply going up. And in fact, we look at our product life cycle where we fall, we haven't even touched the marketplace yet. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. And Enagic has only shared this with a little over 1 million so far. So think about that. Think about the fraction of the people that we've touched. Our marketplace is untapped. Cell phones have not yet reached product maturity. The color television has not yet reached product maturity. There are people in the world that don't have color televisions. There are people that don't have televisions. So we have an awful long way to go. And that's why this is so exciting, because this is the best time to be a part of this project. Now, if you're going to do it right, be a pro. And that's what we're here to teach you. Now, there's one catch to everything. You must embrace a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. There are going to be naysayers in this business. I promise it. However, the sooner you become impervious to this and develop a thick skin to this ignorance, the more successful you're going to be in this business. Ignorance is simply a condition of being uninformed or uneducated. It's not bad. They just don't know what they don't know. It's our job to help them see it, but we have to do it properly, okay? So there's 3 types of networkers. There's posers, there's amateurs, and there's pros. We've covered this. We want to be professionals right from the start. It's going to take you about 7 years working part-time to master the skills to be a professional network marketer. But it's very simple to practice, very easy to learn, and you're going to earn a lot of money while you're doing it, as long as you treat it like a profession. Now, the skills, they're simple, and anyone can master them. You get to earn while you learn, and there's only 3 elements to everyone's business: the product, the process, and the people. I took this from Marcus Lemonis. He's a phenomenal venture capitalist, and he uses this to evaluate every business. He looks at their product, he looks at their process, and he looks at the people. With Enagic, we have the product, rock solid. We have the process, the 8-point system that checks cash. We have the infrastructure, it works. The only variable is you. It's the only variable. So it's up to you to determine how much success or failure you're going to have. No blaming, no whining, no excuses. There's only 7 skills, and they're easy to master. Here they are: finding prospects, inviting, presenting, following up professionally, closing, helping new distributors get started correctly, and building for events. No more, no less. They're simple. And if you just go to work on building these and honing and fine-tuning these skills over the next 7 years, you will find yourself a master at not only all 7 of them, but your organization will be massive, and your life will look like you could have never imagined. You just stay the course. Okay, so we're going to fly through these skills, and we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to pull it all together at the end. Skill number 1, finding prospects. Yes, it's a skill. This is usually the most fearful thing for new people, is because they may ask things like, well, do I know anyone? I just moved here. I'm not a very social person. I'm quiet. I'm not very outgoing. I'm uncomfortable talking to new people. We're going to help you with that. But you'd be surprised how many people you do know. Now, posers make a mental list. There's usually only 4 or 5 people on there. It's like a mental lottery ticket. Their only chance is luck. Amateurs have a written list, but it's not very big, and it doesn't expand constantly, and they have this fear of running out of people. When you get to the 5th or 6th person, you're down to the last person on your list, you're starting to get nervous and anxious. But professionals, this is a core skill. Their list is always growing and expanding. They're adding new people to their list every single day. I try to add 1 to 2 new people to my list every day. Think about it. If you add 1 new person, that's 365 people a year. That's a huge sales funnel to work with. Now, there's 3 I's, and this is the secret to a profitable database. We interview, we meet someone in the street, we ask them questions, ask them about themselves, ask them what they're up to, what their life's like, where they just come from, what do they like to do in their spare time? Are they doing enough of that? What would they like to do more of? Okay, what's important to them? This is interviewing someone. And then once we've identified them as someone that's qualified for our business, and we know how to reach them later, then we could simply introduce them to a third party, whether that be your sponsor, a friend, a video that you have online, something other than you, okay? How you master this skill is very simple. You have a comprehensive list with as many people as possible on it. Everyone you know. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter what they've told you in the past. They go on your list. Now, who do they know? This is called anchoring. We're going to find out. We're going to dig deeper into our network. And then we're going to constantly expand. Again, set goals for how many people you want to share this with every week. How many people you want to add to your list. And get out there. Network on purpose. Join a networking group. Join an organization. Do something that you enjoy doing where you're going to meet other people who enjoy doing the same thing. Okay, inviting. This is the one we've been hitting really hard lately because it's the most important. This is the gateway skill. If you can't get people to look at what you have, then how are you going to get them to become a part of it? Okay? Inviting. Now remember, we are hunters, not farmers. We're trying to educate people, not bag elephants. We're not trying to sign up the next big distributor. We're trying to just simply educate people at this phase. Be empathetic. How would you like to be invited to something? And then invite. Do not pitch. We are not pitching here. I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not pitch during your invitation. This is not a sales pitch. This is not a presentation. We are simply inviting them to look at what we have. They will more than likely ask you questions like, what is it? And you're going to simply defer with, you know what? I don't know everything, but the video I'm sharing with you is going to explain everything. Or, you know what? I'm not 100% sure, but the presentation that you're coming to see, you're going to have all of your questions answered. Okay? Now, the secret formula to having a huge business in this industry is your ability to get a large group of people to do a few simple things consistently over an extended period of time. And that's what we're trying to do by teaching this proper invitation. Now, the keys to an invitation are use a third party, be emotionally detached, be yourself, but be strong, have good posture, be bold, okay? Don't pretend, don't act like every sale, every deal is the only one that you're working. We must be emotionally detached. People can sense when we're desperate, when we're looking for a commission. They can sense it. Do not exude that commission breath, as we like to call it in this industry. Okay, the process of making an invitation is very simple and it's quick. You're in a hurry, you make a compliment, you make the invitation. If I would you get the time commitment, you confirm the time commitment, you schedule the next call or meeting, etc. You get off the phone. It's that simple. Hey, Dan, I'm in a real big hurry, but I'm glad I caught you. Listen, I'm really impressed with all the work that you've done in the car industry. You've always been a very sharp guy. I found something that you're going to find fascinating. If I sent you a quick video, would you watch it? Great. When do you think you'll have a minute to watch that? Later on this evening? Okay, great. So if I called you tomorrow morning, would you will have seen it by then, correct? Absolutely. Great. I got to go. I'll talk to you in the morning. That's it. And you could script that however you like, as long as the steps are there and as long as it feels natural to you. Record yourself going through this process. Look at yourself in the mirror when you're going through this process and memorize it and you want to be able to do this in your sleep because it's the most important thing that you're going to do in your business. Now, skill number 3, presenting. Facts tell and stories sell. So we're going to learn how to craft and tell our story properly. Now, you are not the issue. This is why we're using a third party. Again, it is so crucial to be using a third party in your business. For the first 2 years or so that I was part of this, I never used a third party. I was afraid to get people on 3-way calls. I don't know why. I really don't. But when I started using a third party, everything changed. My results, people were showing up to my events. I was making more sales. My business was growing. Everything changed when I started using a third party. Now, if you're uncomfortable using a third party or setting up a three-party call or a 3-way call, then reach out to one of us. We'll help you and teach you how to do it. Why is it important? Because you're not an expert. They know you're not an expert. What if you get stumped? And besides, being an expert isn't duplicatable. Using a third party is duplicatable. It does not matter what works in this business. It only matters what duplicates. Okay. Now, presenting, the person with the marker makes the money. The person in the front of the room typically makes more than the average of the rest of the room. All of us will eventually get to this point, and that's what we want to do. But in the meantime, we want to be telling our story. We don't have to be masterful presenters. We don't have to give the most polished demonstration with PowerPoints and everything. We just have to learn how to tell our story. That's it. Okay? Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And there's only 4 elements to your story. Your background, what you were doing before, what was life like, okay? Your pain, what sucked about it, what didn't you like, what was horrible, what couldn't you take any more of? Your discovery, how an opportunity showed up, what was the turning point of your life? How did Enagic show up? How did Kangen Water show up? How did your sponsor show up? And then 4th, your results and how you feel about the future, your excitement, okay? Well, what it was like, how horrible it was, the turning point, and then the future, your outlook on the future. That's your story. You could tell it in 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds. You do not want it to be more than 30 seconds. You want it to be short and concise, okay? This is our golden opportunity to get people to ask us questions. Now, mastering your presentation is simple. You just learn your story, but be yourself when you're telling it. Now, you want to learn the opportunity presentation. You don't have to be masterful at it, but you want to understand how our business works. You want to be able to at least show people what happens in the first 10 or so sales of their business. What does it look like from 1A to 3A? Okay, what does it look like from the time that you purchase your unit to when it's paid off? And what kind of profits you're making beyond that? Okay, just to show people what they should expect in the first few months. Learning the training presentations like this. This is available to all of you. You can use this, duplicate it, and share it with your team. That's why it was created in the first place. This isn't just for me and my team. This is for everyone. Okay? Now remember, you're the messenger, not the message. Tell stories that create interest, and be prepared. Always be prepared to tell your story. Have order forms, have materials, brochures, business cards, whatever that is. Just always be prepared to do business. And then following up is skill number 4. And this is the one that usually trips most people up, because most people really don't follow up at all. There's a lot of reasons why this is. Mostly it's based on fear. Okay. Now, the fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to hear this over and over and over again throughout your Enagic career. The fortune is, in fact, in the follow-up. Okay. Now, following up is simply doing what you said you would do. It commands respect. People respect when people do what they say they would do. If I told Dan that I'm going to call him tomorrow morning to ask for his feedback about that video, and he goes out of his way to watch that video tonight because he knows I'm calling him, and if he's waiting, if tomorrow goes by and I don't call him, he's going to have less respect for me. He's going to say, wow, he must not really want to share this with me. I was really excited about it, and he didn't even call me. What kind of businessman is he? People think that way. You want to do what you say you will do. It shows integrity. It commands respect. Now, remember, the only reason for an exposure is to get them to the next exposure. We are farmers, not hunters. We want to be sharing information, telling our story, and giving people an opportunity to learn about what we have, but we are not smacking them over the head with facts and medical claims and all of that. And by the way, if you are making medical claims about what our technology in water can do, stop it. Please just stop it. We are not doctors. We are not medical professionals. We are here to tell our story and our experience, but we're not talking about how it cured cancer or how it can cure. We're not doing that. We don't need to. Our product stands on its own 2 feet. We do not need to make claims about celebrities. We do not need to make claims about curing or treating diseases. We just need to share what we have, and that is the most amazing product and business opportunity on the planet, bar none. Okay, great following up questions. Have you had an opportunity to review the video I sent you? That's your first question. Whether it's a video or have you had an opportunity to look at that first exposure? Now, you're going to get one of 2 answers, yes or no. If they say yes, then great. You're going to ask them, what did you like best? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I want to get this in my life right now, 1 being, leave me alone, don't ever talk to me again. Where do you stand on this? What's your interest level? They'll give you an honest answer. If it's a 9 or higher, if it's a really high number, begin the closing process. Start working with them on getting them their machine, getting them started. But if it's a 6 or a 7, say, okay, what would it take to get you to a higher number? How can I get you to a 10? And they'll probably answer you. They'll probably say, oh, maybe I want to learn how I can get this for free, or how I can finance it, or I would like to try the water. But they're going to give you an answer. We're not prescribing for them what they want. If they say it's a 6 and you say, oh, great, let me show you this other video that explains blah, 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 we're guessing what they want, what they want to see. We don't want to do that. We just want to ask, okay? How do we get you to a 10? And then we just simply give them the next appropriate exposure. If they want to know how to get their machine for free, there's a video that says how to get your Kangen water machine for free. It's on my YouTube channel. It explains not the whole business, but how they can get their machine for free. It's out there. Okay? These are simple follow-up questions. If they say no, no big deal. We're just going to re-invite them to that exposure again. Hey, Dan, did you have a chance to watch that video? No, man, I got busy. That's okay. I get it. Life's busy, Dan. When do you think you'll have a chance to watch it for sure? Oh, I'll be able to watch it later on today. Okay, great. I'll call you later on this evening. Or if he kind of pushes back, I'm going to say, you know what, Dan? I don't want to waste your time or mine. This is very important. I want you to see it. This is going to change your life. But if you're not interested, I don't want to waste either of our time. It's fine. We're still going to be friends. Nothing changes. But you want to take it back because we have something of value. Okay, there's a value exchange going on here. And if they're not really that interested, we just put them on a 6-month follow-up list. Now, this is important. You put them on a 6-month follow-up list. You must follow up with them in 6 months. Okay. I don't know if, Dan, if you have 30 seconds or a minute, I want to bring you on just to talk about this because Dan Edlund is the master at this stage of follow-up. When he'll get people to, they'll, for whatever reason, he'll put them on a follow-up list, but he is so consistent at this process and getting people back to the table. Now, Dan, I just want to have you share with us for a few minutes.
Well, yeah, what I've found is, what's worked for me is that, I try to, consistently share the water, share as much information and take it as far as I can. But what we need to understand is this is disruptive technology. Carlos says it best. And so a lot of people, this doesn't make sense for a variety of reasons. So what I will do is put them on kind of what I call a back burner, but I'm still educating them because what I find is, they may find third-party validation in another place. I've had people that have picked up the phone and after 6 months and called me, well, why now? I walked into my chiropractor. He said it was the greatest thing in the world. I mean, but the thing is, if I'm not constantly dripping some information on them, they may go somewhere else when they are exposed to this technology. And on the other side of that coin, I have a lot of people in my business that were exposed to this through somebody else, but because of the follow-up or because they didn't follow up, I had the opportunity to re-expose them to the technology and then they ended up buying it. So, you want to expose properly. Always, like Steve said, we have to meet people where they're at. They may not be ready for us just because we're ready for them. But the thing is, if they're not, we don't handle it any different. We're graceful. We offer to always share the water. Hey, if I can ever get you any education, but I will always continue. Hey, Ann, you know what? I saw this. You know what? I know you guys weren't ready when the last time I was around, but you know what? I thought of your husband when I saw this, and I just wanted to send some information. Oh, wow, that's funny that you sent that. He was let go from his job 2 weeks ago, and he's kind of looking for an opportunity. Okay. We don't ever really know what's going on in their life, or sometimes they won't share with us the barriers, why they couldn't, take the plunge and do this. So we just, I always continue to share, and I just cannot tell you how many people have given me the Heisman stiff arm in the last 2.5 years that now have a machine in their house and they absolutely love it.
Yeah. And he's absolutely true. We have no idea when their window of opportunity is going to open. One person may be doing great when you introduce them to this, and they don't need an opportunity. They're making great money. Their health is in good shape. They're not looking to do anything. But 6 months later, anything can change. They can get a diagnosis. They could lose their job, their company restructures, anything can happen. And then all of a sudden, just like that, their window of opportunity is wide open. And along comes their friend that was professional with them, that did not hit them over the head with a sales pitch, that was courteous to them, that kept the relationship alive and sent them valuable information over the last 6 months. He's going to do business with you every single time. Now, that is why we are farmers and not hunters, because so many people are gonna turn us down or reject us in the beginning. That's okay, because eventually they will be part of this. So many people in my organization said no to me the first time, but 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years later, there they are. They always come around. Remember, this thing is growing so fast, and more people are becoming aware of what we're doing. So don't give up on anyone ever. Questions and objections fall into 2 categories: limiting beliefs about themselves, or limiting beliefs about the opportunity itself, or networking. We must meet them wherever they're at, regardless. Okay? Now, critical concepts for objections. Feel, felt, found. This is so powerful. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. What I've found is this. This is a great way to tell your story. Okay? Again, I know how and this is a great objection for money, because we've all dealt with the money objection. We've all felt that way about the money. Oh, $4,000 water machine. Who's going to buy that? I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. I said the same silly thing myself. But what I found is this. I found the best sleep I've ever had, relief from my acid reflux. I have more energy. I have more time. I have better coworkers. My life is a completely different picture than what it used to be, because I trusted a friend. That's the way to tell your story. Okay, so again, objection number 1, I don't have any money. Ever been in this position yourself? We all have. You can defer to a third party, someone that has a similar story. And not everybody's ready now. There are some cases where they truly are not qualified in this moment. They have no cash. They have no credit. They have no means to get this, and they're in debt with the IRS or something. You never know. But there's that 6-month follow-up. We're always going to keep dripping on them. We're going to keep sharing value and new information with them until their window is open. Okay? Objection number 2 sounds like one of those blah, blah, blah. Okay? So you say, sounds like you have a story. I'd love to hear about your experience. Why do you think it didn't work? Did you treat it like a real business? Perhaps the industry isn't to blame. Maybe your timing just wasn't right. And then share an objection you had. Do not go crazy and get defensive and start drawing out the corporate structure of Microsoft and saying, well, every corporation's a pyramid scheme. No. That never works. Don't go into that. Just listen to what their story is, what their reasons are. Objection number 3, is this a pyramid scheme? Okay, well, pyramid schemes are illegal. I would never be involved in something illegal. And then you simply defer them back to our previous objection. You're going to find out what their hangups are about network marketing. Objection number 4, I don't want to bother my friends. Well, I felt the same way. I found most of my friends quite receptive to the opportunity. Or what makes you think you'd be bothering them? Or if I could show you how to share this with others without sounding like a sales pitch, would that help? Of course it would. Objection number 3, how much are you making? This is easy if you're already making a lot of money. But if you're not, you just say, I'm getting started, but I'm really excited about the future. My mentor's been doing this for 7 years, and he would love to meet with you and share his story. But be ethical. Remember, we're not making income claims. We're not out there posting pictures of all the checks we get from Enagic, although we'd love to, but we're not doing it. Okay, we're not talking about how much money we're making. We're sharing examples of our lifestyle. People see us going on vacation, taking trips and traveling and driving nice cars. That's how we share people our success. We don't have to be posting pictures of our checks on Facebook. Okay, and to be honest with you, I've never been turned on by that. Okay, so now we're getting into the new stuff. We got 20 minutes left. We're going to fly through the last 3 skills, and then we're going to pull it all together. Skill number 5 is closing. But if you've done your job right, then this is going to occur naturally. You're not going to have to put forth much more effort to get someone through this process. Now remember, our goal is to help them reach a decision, not to force them, not to hard sell them. Okay, so we have good posture. We use good tonality. Let's talk about tonality for a second. Let's talk about how we speak to others and how we communicate. Let's pay attention to that. Leave yourself a voicemail. Record yourself talking. Talk to yourself in the mirror and pay attention to how you look. How do you sound? Are you using and repeatedly? That's annoying to people. It makes you sound unprofessional. If it's a big problem, there's an organization called Toastmasters that I've been a part of for 4 years that teaches you how to speak properly with confidence, like a person of authority. It's powerful. It'll change your life. So have good tonality. Ask great questions. Don't ever, 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 ever ask someone, what did you think? It's the worst thing you could ask someone in sales, ever. You say, what did you like best? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself in this? Okay, the pros are emotionally detached from the outcome because they have an unlimited supply of prospects. They're extremely assumptive. They assume that the person is going to join because their belief is so strong in the product. Hey, I just showed you a demo and I drew out the business plan for you. There is no way that you're not going to see this opportunity and turn it down. There's no way that you're not going to be a part of this. That's how I feel. Okay? And then we promote ourselves as an asset. Even if you don't believe it yet. Hey, you're buying me. You're buying Enagic. You're buying Dan. You're buying Carlos. You're buying Kyle. You're buying Ann. You're buying Tristan. You're buying all of us. Be confident about who you are. And again, always be prepared. Order forms, supplies, brochures, business cards, whatever it is that you use. A demo kit. My demo kit lives in the trunk of my car. I am ready to do a demo at any moment. Okay, always be prepared and always ask a lot of questions. Great closers are great listeners. The 4-question close. Now this is for a business builder. Based on what you've seen, if you were to get started on a part-time basis, how much would you need to earn per month for this to be worth your time? They're going to give you a number. Let's say that they say $5,000 a month. Okay, great. How many hours a week can you commit to earning $5,000 a month? They're going to tell you, okay, I can give you 10 hours. Great. Okay, how many months are you willing to work 10 hours a week until you reach $5,000 per month? I can do that for a year. Okay, great. If I could show you how to develop an income of $5,000 a month, working 10 hours per week over the course of the next year, would you be ready to get started now? And they say yes. You simply pull out your compensation plan and sketch out a game plan for them, and you get started. It's that simple. We can go into more detail on this on the next call. And if you have questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me. And this is just one of many different closing conversations that you can have. Okay. So again, when they say yes, you outline the comp plan, secure their order, do not leave there without getting an order, and then schedule a game plan interview, which we're going to go over next. Or if they give you a no, you just either provide them another exposure that'll get them to a higher number, or put them on your 6-month follow-up list. You may be starting to see a trend here, a pattern. This is a system. When you get to one point, if it doesn't move forward, you simply go back and repeat until we get to where we need to be. Okay. Skill number 6, getting new distributors right. This is so important because that first check is critical. Everybody remembers their first sale. Things to keep in mind: pros set expectations. So we're setting expectations for our people so that they're armed for rejection or whatever they're going to face. Set specific, challenging, and realistic goals. Write them down. All of your goals must be written down, preferably with blue ink, okay? Have them on a 3x5 and read them constantly throughout the day. Have them with your work stuff. Look at them every chance you get. Be specific about them. And remember how you felt when you were being prospect, when the person who introduced this to you, how did you feel going through that process? What did they do that made you see it, that made it click for you, and duplicate that? And then again, get your game plan interview scheduled. Okay, let's talk about the game plan interview. Part 1. First, we're going to validate their decision to become part of your team. Congratulations for doing this. From now on, your life's going to be different. I'm so excited for you in the future that you've chosen. Validate their decision. Part 2, set expectations. Now you're going to tell them, if you succeed, you're responsible for your success. If you fail, you're responsible for your failure. I am not going to build this business for you, but I am here to help you. It is in my interest to help you succeed, but ultimately you are responsible for your own success. My job is to help you get independent from me as quickly as possible. Again, I'm here to help, but I do not work for you. And another mentality that's rampant in this business is, well, I get paid for everything you produce, so essentially I work for you. That is not true. We are here to create independent business builders, not dependent people who we're making every sale for. Now, the third part is, in this business, you're going to have ups and downs. I want to know when you're down, and I want to know how to handle that. Should I leave you alone, or should I be persistent? When I start noticing that you're not on the calls, you're not showing up at trainings, you don't have guests at demos, you're not checking in with me every day or every other day. Do you want me to bug you about it and be persistent, or should I just let you have your space for a few days? But we need to know how to handle that when it occurs, because it will. Everyone will get frustrated at some point in their business, but it is absolutely crucial that we keep them in the game and keep them from quitting. Because like Daniel D. McCauley says, if you just keep showing up and keep doing the deal, you are eventually going to win, and you are going to win big. Okay, game plan interview part 3, the get started checklist. Okay, first they need the products. What's that? An SD501, a K8, you're a NESPA. You need to be able to share the water and do a demonstration. Next, you need to get plugged in. Be on these calls. We have lots of opportunities throughout the week. We have the Saturday morning call. We have our Tuesday training at Enagic Seattle. We have this call. We have Super Saturdays almost every week. There's so many calls and events going on. Get plugged into it. Tools. We're going to talk about tools shortly. Business cards, your website, a basic demo kit, bottles, just simple things like that. A simple understanding of how we make money, the 8-point system, and then master the invitation and the 3-way call. This is how you get started. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get too overwhelmed with other things. Just focus on these 5 items for right now. Part 4, what steps can I take to help them get over the line and stay there? Well, you need to get a check in their mailbox. We need to help them get their first sale as quickly as possible, because that check makes it real and it makes it exciting, okay? We need to help them get their list started, to make invitations to the next event, and to set 30, 60, and 90-day goals. Part 5, give specific assignments with deadlines. People crave direction, especially new people. If you give them a very specific assignment in the beginning, they will be much more consistent throughout the course of their career, okay? Treat this like the exposure process. If I met you at this time next week, would you be able to add 25 names to your list, write down your 30-day goal, and read the first 3 chapters of GoPro? That's a reasonable expectation, okay? Just give them direction, okay? And then lastly, skill number 7, building and promoting events. Now, this is where it all happens. Meetings make money. And you're going to hear me and all the other leaders in this business talk about events over and over and over again. Events are the heart and soul of your business. Every significant moment in my career has happened at an event, and the same has occurred for so many other people. You're thrust into a world of people that think just like you. It's complete immersion. It's amazing. Okay. Again, most career milestones and breakthroughs occur at events. Anyone can create and build an event. We're going to talk a little bit about this next time, because anyone can build their own event. If you're in an area that there's not a big team or there's not other distributors, guess what? You're the first one. You get to be the one to start creating these events. Meetings make money. This is when the sales happen. Okay. There's a couple different types of event. The first is the destination event, where you actually travel somewhere to go to the meeting. The benefits of this are complete immersion. You get validation from others, and you're inspired by the presenters. You get to see people that have been in the game for a while, that are killing it, that are making real money, that have a huge team. They're excited, and they're sharing all of their secrets with you. You're surrounded by like-minded people. The camaraderie is amazing. and you get to exchange numbers, and there's so much value exchange at these events. And then you also get to learn how others just like you have overcome many of the same fears that you did. Now, the challenges to a destination event, well, there's an expense involved a lot of time, and many times when we're new in the business, we don't have a lot of money. There's travel. Sometimes you have to get childcare, time off your regular job. So there's a time commitment issue. And there's a lot of other excuses that can come up. But our job, our goal is to be impervious to these excuses and help people understand why it is so important that they get to these events. I understand where you're at. I felt the same way when I got started, but I tell you what, I made whatever I had to do happen to get to that event, and I am so glad that I did, because I experienced my very first breakthrough in this business. I got to meet Mr. Asobi at that training, and I got to be exposed to what Enagic really is, and that's powerful. That's how we keep people excited, and we get them to really look past these excuses and prioritize their business. Now, how to succeed? Be personally committed. Never miss an event. Make them your top priority. The 5,200% rule. What this is, this means that at each event, 50% of those people will not make the next event. But the 50% that are at the next event will be earning 200% of the average in the room. So what that means is surviving in this business means thriving. All you have to do is be the guy that shows up at every event and keeps showing up and doing the deal. And eventually you are going to win, and you're going to win big. Grow the number of people that you have at each event. Always have new people at the event. Don't ever show up at an event alone. But if you must, don't skip the meeting because you don't have people. But always, always, always have new people in the room. Don't take excuses. Help them understand the importance of the event, and tell your story. Don't buy theirs. Okay, so now we're going to tie it all together. We're going to share with you some tools that you can use to help you grow your business and to help this process be a little bit simpler for you. Anything worthwhile takes time. I love the expression, time takes time. My dad used to say it, and I hated it until I finally understood what it meant, and it's absolutely true. Time takes time. Here's what we need to keep in mind. Anything of real lasting value will take time to develop. So we have to give up our unrealistic excuses, unrealistic expectations, and go to work on ourselves. Remember, it's all about the person you become in the process. At the end of the day, doesn't matter how much money you're making, doesn't matter how many toys or how many houses or properties you have. Well, all that matters is who you become in the process. So go to work on you. The 1-3-5-7 formula. Year one will typically cover your expenses and you'll turn a profit. Year 3, most people go full time. Year 5, you're looking at a steady 6-figure income. And year 7, you're an expert in all areas of the business. With Enagic, however, I've found this to progress much faster than this, but this is a very conservative average. 7 years, you're going to be 7 years older anyway. Why not become an expert? Why not build a huge organization and a legacy for you and your family? Okay. How do you learn? Well, there are no good experiences, no bad experiences, only learning experiences. This is a great mindset to have in this. When someone rejects you, instead of saying, oh man, you take that as a learning experience. You say, okay, what could I have done wrong? Or what could I have done differently? Was my invitation solid? Did I use a third party? Did I follow the steps? What can I do differently next time? But if you take that no or that rejection and you let it hinder you and you let it get you down, then you're not going to learn anything from it. And the next time you talk to someone, you're going to make the same mistakes. It gets really old making the same mistakes over and over again. It's a lot more exciting to be making new mistakes and having to learn new skills, okay? So become an active student. Model successful behavior. Look around you. See who's winning and just mimic them. Be consistent, committed, and coachable. These are my 3 C's. I always use these when I'm telling people what they need to do to be successful in this business. This is it. Be consistent, committed, and of course, be coachable. Attend as many events as possible and avoid distractions at all costs. We are responsible for our own training and our own motivation. Nobody's going to come to us and say, okay, you need to go listen to an hour and a half of Tony Robbins a day to get yourself motivated. No, it's up to you to work on your own development and your own motivation. Okay, so this is where the bulk of all of this material is coming from. I would say that more than 75% of this training comes from GoPro by Eric Worre. This is a book. You can get the book. You can get it on Audible for free. Reach out to me. I can share this with you. But I like to listen to the audio because it's only about an hour and a half long, and you can listen. I probably listened to this well over 100 times, if not more. Very powerful book. The other one is Your First Year in Network Marketing. It's going to set you up for all the things that you can expect. Okay, it's going to make you impervious to all the pitfalls. Ride the Wave by Jerry Kostka. Phenomenal book about how to build the Enagic business. I'm looking for my copy right now. Here it is. So this book is phenomenal for teaching you the basics of how to do your Enagic business. Okay. Jerry Kostka is a friend of mine. You can get this on, I think you can get it through the Kangen Market or EWS.com. Lots of other books, leadership books, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The Bible, daily devotionals, that's important, okay? So I can share any of these materials with you, and if you don't know how to find them, please reach out to me. And then most importantly, take massive, massive, massive action. You learn more by doing more. It's one thing to attend training, but it's another thing to take what you learned here today and leave here when you leave this call and go out and do it. That's how you're going to get results in your business. Become afraid of not taking action, because when you don't take action, then nothing happens. Be scared to death of not taking action. That's going to make you take action. Plan, do, review. Choose a skill to focus on. Make a plan to improve the skill. Do the plan, and then review the results. Okay, I want to become an expert at inviting. So I'm going to make a plan I'm going to start setting goals on how I'm going to become a better inviter, and I'm going to execute that plan, and then I'm going to review my results. How did I do? How many yeses did I get as opposed to nos? And what do I need to do? What do I need to fix? What do I need to hone and work on to get it to where it needs to be? Cashing out. This is so powerful, and you're going to hear this over and over and over and over again in this business. I use it. Carlos uses it. I think everyone in his organization uses it, and this is how we track our production in our business. Okay, we want to be doing income-producing activity, not useless activity. Have you done the following today? Interview, identify a new prospect for your business. If you've done this, you've made money in your business. Introduce a new prospect to a third party, a colleague. You brought them to the Enagic office. You got them on a call. You got them on this call, a video, etc. You've cashed out. You've made money in your business today. You set a future appointment, maybe for a call or a video conference or a live demo. You invited them to a demo and they agreed. You made money in your business today. Educate a prospect by live demo, business overview, online presentation. You've made money in your business today. Process a product order. Obviously, you've made money in your business today. But you can go out and share water with a brand new person and also make money in your business today, okay? Someone new, not the same guy that you've been sharing water with for 3 months, a brand new person. Invest 45 minutes in yourself. Reading, training, audio, prayer, meditation, personal development, exercise. Do something today to make yourself better. Now, you can't do this for 3.5 hours and say, well, I've cashed out 4 times. No, you can only give yourself credit for this once a day because we want you to be doing the other stuff as well. So don't spend all day doing this, but try to carve out 45 minutes every day to work on yourself. And then also, help someone in your organization do any of the above. Help someone share water. Get on a 3-way call with someone in your downline. Help someone in your downline or someone in your organization set an appointment. Help them do something. You've made money in your business. Okay. Here's what the pros are doing. They're studying other pros. Eli Daffish, Daniel D. McCauley, Omar Ramirez, Carlos Gonzalez. What do? They study the other pros and they mimic them. What are they doing? What are they reading? Who are they talking to? What are they saying? You're taking simple, consistent, daily action. If you're consistent in your business, it will pay you consistently. But most importantly, success is a habit. If you're in the habit of doing things that make money in your business every day, then you will habitually succeed. It makes sense. And lastly, teaching. Who's getting more from this training than anyone else on this call? I am. Teaching is how you learn something faster than anything else. That's how you master it. So teach. Find someone to teach. If you don't have anyone on your team, then go out and find your first person and begin to teach them. Okay? Always be learning. The law of association. You become the average of the top 5 people you spend the most time with. This is so true. Okay? So you must disassociate from toxic people. Limit your exposure to the negative people that you can't cut out of your life, and expand your circle of influence to those people that are going to help you, that are going to encourage you to reach your goals. Now, here's the trick. Every 6 months, one of these people in your top 5 is going to go away. Whether they get married, they start a relationship, they move away, whatever happens, it's so important that you choose the next person very, very wisely. Find someone that's winning big and become close with them and get them into your inner circle, because it'll only drive your average up. Work hard and have a lot of fun. Guys, we have so much fun in this business. The people that we get to work with and the friendships we make, the lives we get to impact, trips we get to go on, and it's just so much fun. This isn't really hard work. It's fun work, okay? But you must do the work. Just like anything else, it is really work, but it's fun work. Be consistent, committed, and coachable. Take the time to develop your skills because they will last you forever, and become a leader. Step up at every opportunity you have. If you're at a meeting, walk around and pour water for people. Get there early to set up chairs or do whatever it is. Become a leader. This is simply the best way for an ordinary person to achieve an extraordinary lifestyle. Okay? And finally, never, ever quit. Ever. The people that stick with this are the ones that make it. Daniel D. McCauley says, the only difference between the big shots in the room and the little shots in the room is that the big shots are the little shots who never stopped shooting. Never stop shooting. Never quit. Stay with it. Be persistent. Become impervious to excuses and stories, and you will win, and you will win so big. And lastly, expect a miracle, guys. We're doing the work. We're in an incredible opportunity. Just expect the unexpected. Expect something great to show up in your life today. Expect the next business builder to show up today. Expect the perfect retail customer to show up today. Whatever it is that you're striving for in your life, expect it, because it's already on the way. I want to thank you all for being on this call and for your patience with everything. We've had some glitches here and there with the technicality, but I really, really appreciate all of there we go, stop share. Okay, I really appreciate all of your participation and willingness to be a part of this. Now we're gonna be taking next week's call off, but starting in September, we're gonna be doing this again every Thursday. And some things that we're gonna be doing in the future is we're gonna have some guests on here. We're gonna be inviting some big name people from around the organization to interview. We're gonna be repeating this training every month as well. So we're gonna start back again at part 1, do part 2, and then tie it together with part 3. Again, these sessions are recorded. They're going to be available. They're all available on YouTube. Today's recording will be available by this evening on YouTube. Just find me, Steve Beaumont, on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. There's so much free stuff out there and tools and resources. I know that we're past the hour, guys. I'm trying to wrap this up really quick. Events. We got so many events happening. We have the November 1st through the 4th, the Achieving the Dream event in Las Vegas. Get your tickets before they sell out. Make sure you're there. Make sure your team's there. If you're in the Seattle area, we have a career day coming up next Saturday, the 25th, from 1:15 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. You want your new people there. You want your whole team there, and you want new prospects there. That meeting is designed to close and to get people into your organization. So we're going to be doing a lot of business that day. You want people there. The 9 a.m. call every Saturday with Eli and Jelena Daffish. We have our training every Tuesday at eNagic Seattle. And no matter where you live in the country, there's always events happening near you. So please, please, please reach out to me, steve@truehealthvision.com. If you would like any of my resources, if you have any questions or constructive feedback about this or information about the events. Please continue to join these calls and get your people plugged in. And I just, again, want to thank you all for your time today. That's all I have. Just get out there, guys. Take action today. Be consistent. Be accountable to your sponsor, and just go change someone's life.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Steve.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you.